Hello, good morning, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello, out to the void. I'm just kidding with my people here. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome everyone to Chimi's Creative Club Part 2, Part 2. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I just want to make sure that I can. Yes, thank you, Renee. Hello, good morning to my beautiful mods. Thank you, girl. I'm channeling Selena. I'm in my bitty bitty bum bum era just for today. It was giving, very 1993. I was feeling it, the hoops, the denim, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, good morning. Welcome, everyone. Hi, my beautiful Terry. Hello, Renee. Hello, Miss 808, my beautiful mods. How are you? Buenos dias. So, today, hard stop. I need to stop at least maximum 12:30 because I cannot pull a 3 hour again. I have things to do. It is Mother's Day weekend. To all the moms and beautiful women who are moms, whatever version of a mom that you are, happy Mother's Day weekend. I hope you have the most beautiful, amazing time. You deserve it, girl. It's 5 o'clock somewhere already. So, if you have a little something spicy in your cup today, cheers to that. Happy Mother's Day. Hello, Chrissy. Good morning. I, for one, am just sticking to my Nespresso. Today, I have a vanilla pod mixed with a strawberry white chocolate pod. Let's give her a taste to see how we feel. Hold on one second. Delicious, divine, per usual. I mean, come on. Listen, espresso, you just need to let me know. I'll paint a little coffee cup or something. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't have Bailey's in my coffee, but I do have Bailey's over there. No, I have Kahlua. Kahlua could be a move. I'm just saying it could be a move. But yeah, no, it's 10 o'clock. It's looking at me. No, we're not going to do that, Renee. Gosh, Renee, we're starting so early. Oh. Anyway, I did think to let my hair down today. And it came to me at last minute because I was like, you know what? The bun is cute and all, but she needs to let her hair down here and there. It's a little frizzy. It's a little humid in New York. It's a little rainy, but it's fine. I just wanted to, give a little Selena. Like I said, I'm in my bitty bitty bum bum today. And we're going to talk about Selena actually, because I think that her life story provides a really great lesson, aside from keeping it very lighthearted. And oh my God, Miss Boston Brandy is here today. Ay Dios, mira esto. I love it. Thank you so much for being here, beautiful. Okay, so listen, before I go on a rant for I've already been talking for 3 minutes, we got to continue for this piece, okay? Because look, if I don't finish this piece today, it's going to have to be a short because I want to move on to the next piece. I'm one of those. It's once I see it enough times, she's cute. I'm not going to lie. Up close, I'm looking at this eyeball. It's cute. Can I put it like this? You see them details? It's that number 3 round brush, the Skinny Legend. Okay. So speaking of the Skinny Legend, I do want to work a little bit on getting the branches because in my last piece, which of course I did not prepare this correctly, I have my piece in my bin, but let me see if I can get it out because listen, the setup is setuping. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So for the last one, I like the branches that they kind of came this way. I'm kind of thinking that I want this one to be more centered so that the third piece has the branches going this way. So when they're lined up together, they kind of have they're kind of cohesive, Oh, Miss Melanie's here. Hi, Miss Melanie. Oh, I can't. Look at my beauties are here. The beauties, the beautiful Chimis are here. I actually, how people have names for their followers and stuff like that. And I don't like to call people followers, respectfully. Y'all are your own individual beautiful beings. We're the entrepreneurial cutesy group. So I don't know what to call us, but if you think of a cool name, let me know. I'm open to all the things. So like I was saying, I think I want to work on the branches. I do have to head out of here at 12:30 latest. Absolutely. I got things to do for Mother's Day weekend. I don't want to keep anyone if you have plans. So, we'll keep it very cute, very classy, very demure. So with that said, let's get started. Again, let me just say the chimichargers. The chimichargers. It sounds like almost like a chimichanga, you know. Ooh, I could go for a chimichanga, honey. Okay. That coffee just hits. God. Very delicious. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway. So let's get started with our branches. So I got to see, hold on. If I do this. Oh, excuse me, microphone. You're so needy. But I'm going to move my canvas like I did last time. I don't remember how I had this set up. I just know that I had, hold on, let me move my lip gloss. P.S. If you like the gloss, it's Fenty Beauty in the color Fussy. So some people are fussy. You know what I'm saying? It's a very pink shimmer. It's very cute. The only thing I will tell you that is if you buy these, let me tell you something. It starts to spill and get all nasty like over here. So you have to constantly wipe it down, which is annoying. But the gloss factor is gloss factoring. Miss Erin is here. Oh my God. What a best. Oh, it can. Anyway, listen, I want to kiiiii all day, but we have to get started. So let me figure out this setup. Let me move my cafecito over here. Let me move my little cat cup. We're bringing her back. And last time I said it was my daughter's birthday cake. Girl, I must have been hungry or something because it certainly was not a cake. It was a plate with a paper towel. It was a plate. This was the theme. I did say that I was going to share. The brain fog is kicking. I did say that I was going to share what I did for her, but she wanted cupcakes. It wasn't even a cake. Mira eso. Ay, Dios. Anyway, so let me see if I can get my computer. Oh, and don't mind the mom there. So cute. Let me see. Can I do this? Is this going to be good enough? Let me see. How did I do this last time? I wish I knew. But let's get... All right, so the mom is cute there. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of adorable. Yes, mira eso. And then we'll do this. Can I be comfortable like this? I think she's cute like that. We're going to stick to that for the sake of time. Let me move my mic. Hello, microphone. I need a good name for this one. I feel like it has to be like something like old and Victorian, like Lord something, or like Sir Knight, something with a knight in it. I don't know. I don't know all the fancy terminology for things, you know, but anyway, let's get started on these branches so that we can get it moving. And if I don't finish today, like I said, what we're going to do is, hold on, let me bring this chair. There we go. I'm going to just show it on my shorts, the final reveal, because I would like to move on to the next eye for the next one. So I'm going to grab my normal colors from last time since we did the yellow and the purple. So let me just grab all of those as I move everything. Mira, look at me, so disrespectful to my last piece, putting all these paints on top of it. No, I'm sorry. You're so pretty. You're probably like, girl, what? Why you do me like that? Anyway, so I've got my purple. So from last time, we have the mauve pale. This is the darker of the two purples. And listen, I didn't wash my palette. But you know what? That just means that I just know where to place things now. Okay? That's a good thing for someone like me who gets very easily distracted. And of course, I put the wrong color in the wrong spot. Of course I did. Of course. Ah! Look, it's the lighter one. It was supposed to go there. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to forget about it, okay? Because it doesn't matter. You didn't see it. All right, next, we're going to do the darker purple, which is the violet that looked very, very dark the last time. And we're going to do our two yellows just to have them on hand. And this time, I'm going to be intentional about placing it in the right spot. So let me see. You be my witness. Yes, right there. Oh, wow, it's so bright. It's so bright. It's like you can't even see me. Okay. All right. So that's there. And now we're going to do our, yes, Amelia. She's a rebel, honey. You know, and because of that, I'm going to put this yellow in the browns. Because I can. Now it just looks like a little brown flower, you know, in its last days, struggling for air. Anyway, and then, of course, our titanium white, because Babalina Rosalina has arrived, baby. We're going to put our white in here. It's always titanium white. I don't know why, but okay. Anyway. And now for our brush. So we used the Filbert. I think Filbert was number 8, if I'm not look at how I know my brushes already. I'm learning. So number 8, Mr. Filbert, we love you. We also did, which other one did we do? I think we did a number 10, if I'm not mistaken, the last time. Was it a number 10? I don't remember. You see? I know it was a number 3 round. Yeah, she's right here, Miss Skinny Legend. Mr. Filbert. Oh, it was a flat brush. I know it. I know my peoples. I know my peoples, my tools. So I think with the Filbert, it would be a good brush to do the branches. So like I said, from the first piece, we have them coming in one direction. I kind of want to focus on this one for the branches to sort of start over here, like towards the center, and kind of just have it like kind of like wrapping around like this, if you can see that. So just kind of like working around the eye, almost like the branches are nestling it, like holding it like this, but like this, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's get started. And oh, P.S. Miss Valley Girl, thank you so much for the very generous donation. For anyone who chooses to donate, thank you so much. You don't have to. It's obviously greatly appreciated. It's in the PayPal in the corner, but on live, I'm not able to see when they come in because I need to stay focused. But if I don't say thank you, like if I can email you directly, I will to thank you. Otherwise, like I will come and say it on live. So again, Miss Valley's Girl, thank you so much for the very generous donation. It's very greatly appreciated. And I thank you so much. So with that said, let's get started. So branches. So in the last one, I kind of went with the orange because there was a lot of the blue in the background. So I'll show you that really quickly one more time. So you see how we have like, it's still giving like the 2 complementary colors, giving that muddled effect, but we also added the orange to kind of help it pop in addition to all of the flowers. And I didn't even realize I did add yellow to this. So maybe we might tie all the colors in together. I don't know. I'm feeling frisky today. So we're going to go with this kind of idea. So I think a good thing to do, Miss Ramona, hello, welcome. Good morning. So I think a good thing to do for this one is to do like a lighter purple and kind of add a little bit of the dark, add a little bit of the white for the highlights, and also let's just have fun. So I'm going to take Mr. Filbert. I'm going to wet him just a little bit. Oh, you're going to take a little dip just like that. Nothing crazy. A little skinny dip. Listen, we're not talking about that, okay? It's too early in the morning for that. If you're on that type of time, then you must be in a different time zone, okay? So we're going to tap off the excess here on our little paper towel situation. And we're going to go in with the lighter of the 2 purples. So this one here. And it's giving me like, I want to go even lighter than that. So I'm going to add a touch of white. So I'm going to grab the white first because, you know, then you're going to get so much like purple into the white. No, we're going to grab the white first. And I'm going to use this little corner here. I don't know if you could see that. Grab a little bit of the purple. And we're going to blend, 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 blend. You see that color? Oh, very nice and light. Beautiful. So it is going to be a lot lighter, but that's okay because we can work with the darker colors in there. Because unlike oil paints, acrylic is a lot less forgiving in that sense because look at me like flick and flish. It's a lot less forgiving. So you have to kind of, you know, work pretty fast. Oh my God, what? Life. I feel like I always like do that to you because you're always like, Chimi, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to everyone who celebrates. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm giving you my beady beady bum bum. I'm giving that today. So that's why we're not having the bun. I don't know. We might experiment with different styles. Let's see what happens. All right. Enough yapping, Chimi. Let's go. All right. So branches are very, you know, very delicate. They're not, you know, harsh and weird. And even when they are like very, like on those trees that are ancient, they still have this elegance to them. I always think of them like, you know, when ribbons kind of flow in the wind, it's kind of like that. They're sturdy, but they're elegant, they're graceful. So I'm going to give you my best graceful. Now that I've been talking for 15 minutes. Ay Dios, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start from this point up here on my right. And I am just going to just whoosh, whoosh it. And then the filbert is just basically going to give me thicker lines. So it looks like this right now. It's a very cute little like semi arc type of thing. And we're just going to kind of draw it into the eye now. So it doesn't have to all be perfect, but what we want is elegance. Elegance. Oh my God. Speaking of elegance being said that way, who here has watched the New York Housewives, the Real Housewives of New York? Please tell me someone has watched the Real Housewives of New York and that you know who Countess Luann is. Please, because I have a story to share about that. If you have, please put a 1 in the chat. Actually, no, put a cartwheel in the chat if you have watched the Real Housewives of New York City, because it is so funny. I have a story to share. All right, so as you guys are putting your cartwheel, yeah, okay. You ran into her? Okay, stop. So first of all, I kind of love her. She's kind of a big deal because Miss Countess Luann was just always just like so extra for no reason, but she's a Taurus. So hi, makes sense now? Anyway, so Miss Countess Luann, she started doing her cabaret, right? So when she started like becoming really popular for Monica by your class, that it's giving that, right? So I was just like, how amazing that this woman who has kind of like no awareness, but still doesn't care and is like living her best life. Love her for that. So a few years ago, she was performing in New York and I saw her. I saw her. Those are my feet like making little sounds, little piddle paddles. Let me tell you, Gorgelina. She was so beautiful. Obviously, the music, she did her best. But you know, like singers, if they find their range, like anyone can sing, even if it's not great. She still has pitch, right? And even if the mic was like an auto-tune correct thing, great, whatever. But it was just so great. And I had the best time. And it was like the most fun I had at a concert or watching someone live, like ever. It was that good. Like she was so fantastic, so out of control. Like you just got to give it like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's like 5'10". And Gorgelina, her body is tea, honey. She keeps it fit. I don't know who, what personal trainer or whatever the case may be, but it was just fantastic. And to be honest, like if she were to do it again, I would totally go and see her. Like it was so fun. And like to hear her songs, like they were great. I think she had a couple of people come on stage for like, you know, some comedy bits and she's funny. Like, you know, like don't be so uncool. Like legendary. Who remembers that? Who was that cast? It had like 2 women. Wasn't one of the ladies like she had her husband like cheat on her with like that Ashley Madison thing? Was it that season? I think Heather was another one that was there. But oh man, it was so funny. Like it was just such a great time. And what a core memory. So I just love it. Anyway, let me focus because of course I can't focus. And I kind of went against what I said I was going to do because of course I just like did whatever I had to do. I think her, Miss Hathaway, I think her kids were artists. I'm not sure if she herself did anything, but like, can you imagine having that type of life that you're a countess? What even is that? What is that? I don't know. But anyway, it's pretty iconic. So, all right, let's see. So yeah, I kind of went against what I said I was going to do, but I hope you forgive me. So we did a little bit of that, but it's okay. Because once we had the flowery touches and all that stuff, if they're all kind of similar, I really don't care. I like to go with the flow. And like I said, painting and talking is a very new thing for me. Usually I'm blasting Mozart or Bach, and I'm on that type of time. But you know what? I like the challenge of being able to do something different. So I think the Filbert brush is a little too thick for this. She's a little too thick, she's giving winter vibes, but that's all right. Cause spring is right here, girl. And you serve a purpose too. You're beautiful just the way you are. So let me just get my Filbert, Mr. Filbert, sir, let me put you back in here. Let me just wet the brush a little bit. And we say thank you to our tools. Muchas gracias, Mr. Filbert, Señor Filbert. We're going to put you here. You're going to rest. Go Mimi. So now we're going to take our skinny legend. She's ready for summer. She's ready for her eeny weeny teeny weeny polka dot bikini. Okay, Miss Skinny Legend number 3. So we're going to take her and we're going to add thinner details to our branches. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the rest of this color, but I am going to make a little bit more because I did not make enough. That is the worst. For the artists in the chat, or even anyone, when you start something and then you're like, I think I need just this much. It happened to me all the time with like buttercream and things like that. And then you're like at the very end and you're like squeezing the end of the tube to try to get the very last bit out. That's what it feels like every time I'm mixing paint. I'm like, I don't think I can replicate that color because I don't know how much I did. Like, whoops. So we're just going to work with what we have. Okay. All right. So we're taking our number 3 and we're just going to add a little bit more detail. Oh, she's actually very, very close. Okay. So here, we're going to just like do like very little elegant branches here. Who is hitting me up? Oh, I know who it is. I love you. But my phone is like, I'm going to have to put it on silent kind of, so it doesn't vibrate on my thing here. Hold on. Oh, hold on one second. Please hold. Let me do the Jeopardy music. And you are correct. You are correct. You are correct. All right. So now that that's said, let's go ahead and finish these little branches. So I am just adding tinier details. See like how you can get these like finer lines that are very like, cute, baby demure. So I'm just going to keep adding these. But anyway, so yeah, Miss Countess Luann, highly recommend. Very fun show. I absolutely loved it. She was just fantastic. And, I think that if anything, what I really admire about people who go for what they do is that they're unequivocally unafraid to just try. And in a world where, a standard is set, where you have to meet the expectations of what an industry sets for you, whether it be a trend that is popular. So like, for example, in the art world, you're only as good as your agent. Oh, we're going there today. Okay. Because if you got a solid agent, then yes, splattering on a canvas is the art. It is the thing. It's who's hyping you up, right? Like, and it's not to say that there isn't beauty in that, but talent and art is objective. And a lot of it has to do with who is your team to be able to push you into the spotlight, and for the artists in the chat, like, let me know if you agree with that. Cause I feel like there are, and not even just the artists, if you have a business or you do whatever, like, I feel like there is a level of, natural talent or talent that gets developed over time kind of doesn't get the respect it deserves sometimes because of the fact that some people aren't represented. So, you're kind of looked at as like, whatever, But that's just how I see it. So Luann was really wonderful because, Luann is a perfect example of that. She had the money and the funds to be able to start a show and to put her life out there. Like, it was her time to do it, right? So I don't know. I think that there's a lot of undiscovered talent. There's a lot of people that are great singers, great performers, great artists, great people, honey. The real ones, like, and there's no disrespect to anybody, but like real people that I've met barely engage on social media, like in terms of like putting their whole life out there. Like it's like they're using it exclusively for maybe potentially starting a business. They like no one's really sharing too much of themselves because you understand that there is a part of that when you have so many eyes on you, it kind of starts to eat at your energy, right? So like even for me, like once a week, honey, is what y'all are going to get. And as much as I would love to do more, I have to stay grounded and I have to live my normal life. Like, and I love you all, but you know, I do feel like it's nice to kind of like have a more intentional moment to like hang out, do what we're doing. So it's great in that respect. Anyway, so I'm going to keep adding these branches. I'm going to give you like a little snapshot of where I'm at in a second. And also, we're going to talk about Miss Selena today, the inspiration for my hair, because she'd come up yesterday. I was like listening to a lot of old music, not old, okay, like early 90s, you know, DMX. Wait, I need to go into this tangent. I'm sorry. I have to go into this tangent because yesterday I listened to Rough Riders, but like listened. You know how like you remember a song because the beat hits, but then you don't really pay attention to what's being said. Like a great example of that is, remember that group Next? They're like, step back, you're dancing kind of close. That, you feel a little, finish the line, a little coming through. No. And I'm here like 12 years old, like, feel a little bit coming through. No. What were we singing? Like, no. So I was listening to DMX and I could not, the Shakespearean of our time that was DMX, because in that song, he had so many bars. I mean, the song is great, but there was something where he's like, what was it, Miss 808? I know that you had the line down, but it was like right before he says, well, it was after the whole mind your business, lady. Because like she's like, TMX, you know, how do you feel about the case? And he looks her up and down, and then it goes straight to mind your business, lady. But there was this one part afterwards. Oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. Miss 808, come in clutch. I know you know. We're the dearly beloved, not your dearly beloved. Stop. Now you're dearly beloved. That is the funniest thing. Like I laughed a little too hard at that. Like I found so much pleasure and joy out of that because what a freaking like that is Comedy Central. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life because that is such a clever way to use that line. So it's just now you're dearly departed. Yes, you're dearly departed. Oh my God. I laughed a little too hard at that. That was so funny. Like, and the way he says it, because he's like, so angry. Like, oh, you think it's funny, but you don't owe me money. Like, oh, I love it so much. It was so funny. Anyway. So yeah, I was listening to a lot of music from that time period and how different it was then, right? Like at least back then, they would censor. So like you would, yeah, he looks up to the sky. Now you're dearly departed. Yo, that's genius work right there. That's work. But yeah, like I was just cracking up at that and just like thinking about how even then the videos would leave something to the imagination. Like we were doing very much innuendos to all of the sexual proclivities that were occurring, but you know, nowadays it's like, especially in reggaeton, toma, cógelo, that, like it's just like so obvious in your face that it's almost like it's exhausting. Like, can we just be a little bit more poetic if we're gonna go there? Does it have to be so in your face? I mean, can we leave a little bit to la imaginación? Something just occurred to me. So pause, wait for a minute. I remember too, when I was like thinking about this piece, I think about my pieces and I think about them in a way of like, how can I improve them? Or like suddenly like a hit of inspiration will come in where I'm like, yes, I want that. So remember Elizabeth Taylor, wasn't she known for like these like violet grayish eyes? What if we're getting a little frisky And to the brown, we add a little bit of purple to bring out the yellow a little bit. I'm going to try it before I show you the reveal, okay? 30 minutes. All right. So I got 2 hours. All right. So let's go. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. And if it looks like Garbaggio, then you know what? That's okay. But since I have this brush with the paint, stop. You can't really see it, but you know that it's there. Like, I know that it's there. So this is one of those that, unfortunately, the 720 pixel resolution may not pick it up, but that's okay because I see it. Y está bien bonito. Okay? Está very cute. So let me go ahead and just give it a little bit of an Elizabeth Taylor moment. Hold on. She was very beautiful. My God. Like, women then just had like a different aura of femininity that was like, they put effort. And I know like some people are like, oh, you know, like the housewife, and I get it. I understand. Then it was very different. But I can't deny that that period was just like, in terms of fashion and like all of the clothes, the aesthetic. Oh, the aesthetic was giving. It was just put together. It was intentional. Like, you felt beautiful. Like it was an okay thing to feel pretty. You had your hair done, you know, like it was nice despite all the other stuff. Like, look, I'm not agreeing with the time period or some of the things that were happening or how men treated women, etc. You know, I'm not agreeing with that. But what I will say is the fashions were fashioning. I love this. Okay, pause. Let me just show you what I've got going on. Let me put my skinny legend down over here so she doesn't fall and collapse in the wind, girl. Okay. You can have a sangui later. Okay, that was from Miss. So see how these vines are kind of working their way here? And I kind of like that they're a little bit smaller than the last piece because these are a little bit thicker and bigger. These are a little bit more graceful. Yes, we like that. We're a graceful girl. All right, so let me put my skinny legend in here. I'm going to go in with my darker purple now, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this lighter purple so that the contrast between the two isn't so stark. So let's go ahead. She's getting all the dirt and grime off. That's what she's doing. Okay, thank you very much. Let's tap you right here. And we're going to keep using her unless, wait a second. Let me see. Is this an even thinner brush? This is Esqueleton, okay? Esqueleton. If we got a skinny legend, then we got Esqueleton right here, okay? Esqueleton #1 round brush. No, this is a liner. Should I just like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not for your face, you guys. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to see where it goes. Because what I do want to do is when you look at a tree or anything in a distance, what I'm trying to do is to create dimension by also adding shadow aspects to it. So we have a lot of the lighter things in the front, and towards the back, you get something a little bit darker, something faded. So I'm going to happy little branch my way into the next one. Because like I said, I'm Babalina Rosalina, okay? Mr. Babalino Rosalino. What a legend, that guy. But, oh my God, sorry. I'm going everywhere, but like my mind is racing because I'm just like, the things I have to say. Did anyone else hear the rumor that like Bob Ross was like painting? Look, and I could be wrong, but maybe some people know. Allegedly that like all of his happy little forests and trees were locations of where he buried bodies. Like, will it surprise anybody at this point, the way the world is? I don't know. He's not here to defend himself, so RIP regardless. But do you think that's true? I've heard that, and I was just like, no. He's like the most chill guy, but you know what? It always be the silent ones. The ones that are too quiet, you got to be careful. I'm just kidding. I heard that, and I was like, people need to stop ruining my childhood. Like, enough. Between Nickelodeon, between all the, like, I'm like, enough already. Leave us alone. Leave us millennials, especially the 80s millennials, alone. If y'all going to tell me next that Mr. Rogers was on some weirdo stuff, I'm going to be devastated. No, I don't want to know. I'm tired of it. But anyway, so I just was like, it can't be real. It cannot be real. Watch out for the fluffy afro. The happy little trees might be coordinates. You never know. Yes, Aaron, it is so scary. This world is wild. Like, why is this happening? I don't understand. I don't understand. But yeah, when I heard that, I started cracking up because I'm like, there ain't no way that that's real. Please let it not be real. Like at this point, I'm like, I don't want to be in the business of clocking everything. I want to be surprised. Okay. Like, I don't want all of this extra stuff. I want to be surprised. So, oh, this liner brush. You know, I'm going to be honest. I like her. I'm not going to lie. She's very, very, very detailed. But I think that the rounded brush gives a little bit more definition. And it might be because the bristles are a little bit more pointy. So we'll see. I'm going to still work with her because I have all this paint on her and I don't want to waste it because we do not waste. Listen, my Latin ancestors, they're still in the background somewhere. They're clocking everything. They're like, oh, well, remember on this day, on May 9th, the weekend of Mother's Day weekend, 2026, you decided to dip your brush in the water. So about that karma, okay? We're keeping notes. No, I don't want to do that. So we're not wasting anything, okay? Los ancestros, I love you. Okay. Oh, not Pee Wee Herman. Oh, God. What a tragedy. But you know what I realized is just like, I think the saddest part about all of this is just that you think about that these people had such rough upbringings as well, because you cannot be like a person who does these type of things and not have had some type of trauma in your life, in my opinion. And of course, I would rather be wrong. I say this a lot. I would rather be wrong. But, it just is what it is. And it's just unfortunate to see that, you know what I mean? Like people who go through these type of situations and then they try to heal it through doing comedy. Like most comedians are people who have gone through a lot of really heavy stuff. And that's the way that they're able to heal their trauma is by, making fun of themselves, making fun of the situation and bringing light to it. And I think most of us can relate to that, right? Like I do it too. It's a form of what's called alchemy. And a lot of us, whether you know it or not, are good at doing that. Like you just take a bad situation and you turn it positive in some way. But the problem is when those skeletons are still lurking and you're not really healing them, like you're not removing them on your own terms, you're just suppressing them further in the closet. That's when it becomes a problem, because if you don't address it, then yeah, you're just going to keep having it resurface in some other capacity. So it'll start to bleed into the relationships that you have. It'll start to bleed into your personal life, into even, look, if you have children and you claim to love your children, you have to try to work on yourself because generational curses are a real thing. And this world likes to gatekeep that information because the more stuck that you are, the easier you are to manipulate. And there's a lot of people that don't recognize that you're carrying a lot of burdens. And, I know your parents may have not been the best, but like, you got to let it go. And especially ladies, like we are the womb. If you've had children, even if you didn't have children, you birthed your own children, you adopted children, whatever the case may be. We are creators. Like, I do think that, I'm going to be very controversial and I don't care. I'm going to say it. I think that, with the problem why, or the reason why I resort to a more spiritual life versus following any type of religion. And it's not to say that I don't respect religion. I do. It's more, I think that the issue I have with these religions is like, where are all the ladies? And why are all the ladies like a problem? It's like, this one is the H word, or not, well, the hoe, but the whore, the wench, she's getting stoned to death. Like the other one is like, like she's possessed by Lilith and all this other stuff. But like it's almost like the distortion of femininity and the divine feminine and the world, or the role that women have has been so like ruined. And then it's like, when it comes to the man, like every man is a prophet, that I'm like, God didn't just make just man. There wouldn't be any of y'all without women. No disrespect. I mean, it's like we need both, right? But like we are the womb, we are the channel to bring the soul to the earth. So it just felt like I'm like, I don't know. And again, this is just like, my internal monologue becoming my external thoughts out loud. Okay. I could be wrong, right? Like I don't profess to be right in any of this, but there is something to be said that we have no information or very little information on the importance of the role of the woman aside from just being a baby maker, right? Like you carrying a soul and having like, cause to me, it's like we're treated like second class citizens, but we were given the responsibility to bring life on earth. I don't know about you, but that's kind of a big deal. Okay. It's kind of a big deal. And it's not because men don't have an important role to play. Yes, they do. But I think that the role of women in general has just been like, we've just been ostracized in a way that's like, diminished for the true strength that we carry. I want a man to have a period. So you know what I'm talking about. And especially in a day and age where like what we represent gets distorted not only through biblical terms but also through societal norms, right? Like it's already hard enough to be a woman. Why is it that now we're competing and fighting with everybody to be that? Like, baby, 100% certified organic. Okay? God created. Like, and it's no disrespect to anybody else who struggles with identity, etc. Like, I understand, I feel for you. But it almost feels like it's like there's this intentionality to erase the divine feminine. And while I believe that all of our souls carry like the yin and yang, like we have both masculine and feminine energy to learn how to become more whole. Like, listen, when I'm in my DMX, like, you don't know me, homie energy, it's giving very much masculine energy. But when I'm in like, this mode, there's a softness, a femininity to it because I'm a woman. Okay. Like I am a woman and I'm proud to be a woman. I have a daughter, like, and even despite the cultural norms where you know girls are always second in a lot of cultures, I felt that even when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was like, I'm bringing shame to my family because I'm not birthing a son to carry the name and the legacy. And then you're like, who fed me this information? Why am I still believing this? Why? Like, what are we doing? I don't know. How am I going to look at this beautiful creation made from love and light, the closest source to God, and already handicap my daughter to be like, oh, yeah, so because you're born here, you're less than because of your genitalia, literally? No, I'm not doing that. Respectfully, okay? It's 2026, baby. We're moving a little different nowadays, okay? So there's one of those things, like where I'm just like, this is why I choose to be a little bit more spiritual and have that, because I just don't agree with the way that I'm observing society and how history has taught us that women were just not important enough to be respected despite the role of bringing creation on earth and carrying it prior, like we're incubators of these human souls, but we're just discarded and just labeled everything else. And it's like, no. And it's not because, and let me be very clear, I'm also not a feminist either. Okay. I believe that every person should be respected and honored based on their character and not necessarily their gender. Okay. If you're a bad person and you so happen to be a man, you're just that version of a man that's bad. If you're a woman and you're a not so great person, then you're a woman who's making bad choice and is also on that same playing field. It's just your character. It's not because of your gender. None of that. It's just who you're proving yourself to be. So I just like at this point, I'm like, ain't no man or woman gonna tell me that I'm less than because of X, Y, and Z or my child either. Okay. We're not doing that. So I just like, especially now that I'm going into my 40s and I have like hopefully another half to live, God willing. Like I'm thinking about all of these things and I'm just like looking at how humanity has sort of lost touch with, like, we've forgotten that we all are made the same. We all have the same organs for the most part, if you're born like that, unless you're the exception. You have an assigned gender. Like, you shouldn't have to question the vessel more than question the purpose. And that's, I think, what a lot of my reflection and my time away from things, this is the stuff I think about. I don't like it makes me more aware of our existence and why it feels like when you're already born into a handicapped situation. I can't control that the chromosomes ended up making me a woman. So why now do I have to suffer consequences for things that I knew nothing about? I was a product of love. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, so why should future generations have to do the same? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's one of those things, like I spend a lot of time, a big part of like what I feel very drawn to is understanding the whys behind all of the stuff that's been going on in our society, in our culture, in modern day, the push for certain agendas. Like, why are we all agreeing to this right now? Like, why is it wrong to question? Why do people attack you when you have a difference in opinion versus like just allowing it to exist? Like, it's just, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of just questioning, like, why aren't we allowed to critically think for ourselves and be able to have our own opinions without it having to be a war? Like, or you need to believe what I see. Well, maybe I can't believe it yet because the story's not convincing enough. And maybe I want to explore why I feel the way that I feel versus just blindly agreeing to something. And guess what, too? You have a right to change your mind. Like, I thought politics was something to be believed. And then I realized they were more of the same. Both sides are more similar than they are different. And guess what? They don't care about us. All I gotta say is they don't really care about us. That is facts. Like, facts, And I don't think that, there it's always going to be that way, but I do think that the spiritual side of things is that a lot of us are going through an awakening, which is why I implore people always, like, if you're struggling with stuff in your life, you're struggling with forgiving people, whatever the case may be, just do it. Forgive yourself. Go do the healing journey, do the healing process, because it's a lot easier to forgive yourself and the things that you've done in your life. Give yourself personal accountability versus expecting it from others. Because at the end of the day, like what we had mentioned in the last life, we can always assume that our perspective is the only right way, but people may not be in the position to receive it at that moment, right? Like, you can't expect people to hear what you're saying and to receive it in the way that you intend it. There's always going to be pushback, especially when it challenges a perception that has kept somebody comfortable and stagnant most of their life. Like, when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, it's for a reason. However, my perspective is you may not be able to, teach the dog new tricks, but you can show them the possibility that there are new ones to learn. That, if anything, is amazing, right? Like, that is a way to approach it. And it's sort of like, even like as a parent, ways that I'm trying to figure out how to properly parent my own daughter is by not telling her what to do, but allowing her to also come to those conclusions on her own. I may not be able to convince her, because it's not about convincing, because convincing, then you are taking the role of God and you're then taking the role of being her thoughts, being the person who thinks for them. I don't want to do that. I want her to have that independent thought and to be fiercely independent in her thought process, even if other people think otherwise. That's the only desire, want. And I don't really even want to say want. And I don't even want to say hope. It's more the tools that I'm providing is for her to always question, because that's when you're able to use what's my favorite word from last week. Who's going to say it first in the chat? Who's going to say it first? Who's going to say what we talked about last week? I know somebody with the name T. Terry. Terry knows what I'm talking about. Let's see who's going to say it. Discernment. Hey, Molly. Yes, discernment teaches you that. So I don't know. I think that I've become a lot more reflective and just trying to just be more mindful of what I say, how I say it, and also to push people to think for themselves. My job is not to think for you. I tell my daughter that all the time. I'll give you a great example. I may have shared this before, so apologies if this is a repeat, but when she was small, you know, kids love to get into everything. And I have a cat, and we have a really fabulous cat tree. So I see my daughter like trying to climb the cat tree, and I'm like, if it was my mom, mira muchacha, no hagas eso, no. You know, like they like yell at you, right? Like how put a cartwheel in the chat if you've been yelled at or given pau pau or gotten the chancleta or something like that. Put a cartwheel in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. You know you've been scolded by your parents. They'll just tell you no rhyme or reason explanation. It's just no, absolutely not, right? And then you're just like, what did I do wrong, right? So for me, I was like, instead of doing that, how am I going to get my point across to my child so that she doesn't make a dumb decision or get hurt or whatever the case may be? Yes, because I said so. Girl, same for us Latinos. I mean, we all come from, you know, Latinos are a mixed bag. We got everything in us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got everything from everywhere. We got a mix of everything. All right. But I hear it. You're from the original source. So it's a little bit different. But yes, because I said so, right? So I'm thinking about it as I'm watching her, and she's getting closer and closer to making not a very good choice. And I'm like, oh, I don't want my child to like get hurt. So I'm like, Riley. Yes, my daughter's name is Riley. I'm like, are you a cat? And she looked at me. That's the first time I got her attention. Like, so like, she was like, you're asking me a question? Because even at her age, I think she was like maybe like 3 or 4, turning 4. And I'm like, are you a cat? And she's like, no. And I'm like, so why are you climbing the tree, the cat tree? I don't know, Mom. You know, and I was like, yes, mom point. That was the best thing ever, because I was like, she got it. And for like, I had a proud mom moment at that point, because I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, I get it now. That's exactly what these children need. It's not to tell them no, is to have understanding. You're not a cat, so you can't be on the cat tree. Duh. Like, it just like really proud mom moment. I mean, listen to all the mamas out there. Round of applause to us, all the parents. You know what? Because you know what? I love the dads too. But because it's Mom Day, Mother's Day, we're going to give a bigger round of applause to the moms. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Oh my God, life artist. I fell out of a tree on my 5th birthday and broke my collar. Oh, in your, no, not the frilly party dress. Oh, she wasn't going to tame you. Oh, girl, listen, I know look, I have a fire sign child. I fully know that this earth will get burned. That's a fact. And that's okay. Like, I am okay with that. I love that she is who she is. And that's, I think, what I want for her, is to always be herself. Like, don't try to be a copy of somebody else. Be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much is like, you got to be like this, you got to sit like that. And, you know, for certain spaces and rooms, I get it. And for certain things, like I tell her, like, not everything can be a rebellion, because, you know, like I said to her, you know, when we go out and we drive, we have to follow certain rules, because it's what keeps order and safety, right? So you have to look both ways or you will get hit by a car. You know, we do follow as a society, and certain rules for safety purposes. That makes sense. But, not everything is going to make sense that, if you want to F around and find out, yeah, girl, you're going to find out and it's not going to be cute. And I don't, some things are really dumb. Don't do it. But hold on, I'm going to show you where I'm at. So now we're getting somewhere. We got a little bit more dimension. I love the purple branches. Like, they're kind of great. So I'm going to switch over to my Skinny Legend brush. Number 1, Esqueleton. You have been very, very cute. I like you. You were very helpful. I think I need to work on you a little bit more. I need to understand you a little bit better. I have a different rapport with the other ones. You know what I'm saying? It's no shade, girl. We'll get to know each other. We're acquaintances right now, but the other ones are my friends. But it's okay. I'm going to thank you again. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm going to put you here and lay you down while I take a sip of my coffee and take a look at the chat. So we're doing great on time. Yes. Oh, and 55 I just saw. Look at that. If you're a numerology person, honey, change is among us. So let me take a quick little break. Say hello to the people. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, the hairless. Listen, he's sleeping. Don't even call him. Because if I see him start purring, once I hear it, no, senor. No, he will not leave me alone. Good morning. Oh, it's the Swerve Show. What's up, Swerve? Good morning. I know you saw the last one, but look, we're making progress. We're right here now. This is where we're at. And you know what I realized? The branches kind of give like the veins in the eyes, kind of. So it's speaking to me in a different way. Oh my God, I almost drank this. Hi, where's DMX? And now you're dearly beloved. Honey, we're not doing it. No, I need to start 40 first, okay? No, just kidding. Rebuke, knock on wood, rebuke, rebuke, rebuke. Okay, so I'm gonna take this coffee again. Hello, everyone. Yes. Hello, beautiful people. And to everyone celebrating Swerve, to all the beautiful moms in your life, happy Mother's Day. And to all the beautiful moms and ladies, gentlemen with their wives, mothers, etc. Baby mamas, listen, it's no shade. Just be nice, okay? Tomorrow's a national holiday that you have to be. Get it together. Get a flower. My Mother's Day came early because I wanted my garden. So I have my little herbs and, I have some petunias. They're blossoming. I have some pansies, some marigolds. What else do I have in there? The tomato. Well, we don't talk about Bruno, okay? And then we have, who else do we have in there? Lavender, rosemary, and thyme. So I'm very excited about it. So I could start drying some of them for the winter. Renee, girl, we all want money, honey. Ooh! Yes, the purple basil. Oh, you remember? It's so good. I made like a chicken pesto pasta with it the other day because I had to use it. But instead of using pine nuts, because listen, pine nuts have no business being like $30 a pound. Okay? I know they're small, they're delicious. They have no business doing that. But since pistachios are all the rage, I'm like, you know what? Why don't I make a pistachio pesto? So I did that. I put some lemon juice. I put Parmesan. I found when you grate it on the very, very fine grater, it's the best. I did really good olive oil, obviously the basil, and then I just salt, pepper, lemon zest. Because if you're going to juice the lemon, use the zest. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to use the zest, okay? There's so much. That's where the oils are. That's where the flavor lives. Have the zest. It might give it a little bit more of a punch, but who says that that's wrong? So, my daughter wanted to have some pasta because what child doesn't like pasta? Okay, every child loves pasta. So I made chicken pesto pasta for her with that. And the only thing, though, with the purple basil is that the pesto looks like, not the most pleasant color. I wish it could stay purple. It doesn't. It gets a little brown and muddy, but it tastes delicious. So it's almost like, do you remember Beauty and the Beast when they're like, try the gray stuff? It's delicious. It's that. It's very much that. It's like you try and you're like, oh, yeah, it looks suspicious, but not so suspicious when I eat it. So, all right. So for the sake of time, it's almost 11. I got an hour and a half. Oh, it's 11 on the dot right now. Make a wish. It's 11. We love that number. So let me take another sip. We're going to go in with some more of the details. I did add the purple to the eye, but I'm kind of going to go in with a little bit of a darker one and still with some more pops of yellow because I kind of like that the eye picks up all of the other colors. But yeah, let's see. Life artist, do you have a page that like you post your artwork or whatever it is you do? Please, if you want to share it in the chat, please do. And that's for all my, my peoples that I know you. If like you guys, again, sorry, Barely Brunette, her page, she's adorable, face card on point, wisdom, tea. Like she's very, very awesome. Like very, very awesome as a person. And it's just so nice to find different people that I was like all up in her page. I was like, please, like, girl, more of this. Like, I love that people are taking a chance on themselves and actually doing something productive and, doing what they feel they're guided to do, because it's the time now. If you are an entrepreneur, you're an artist, you're whatever it is like you're doing, like I'm going to plug my girl, Miss 808. Okay. Miss Tan Extraordinaire. Okay. She has her business. If you're in her area, please go check her out. Go book her because she will be booking. Her bookings are filling up. You will see. Okay. Like I love that people are doing their own thing because, why not? If life is, again, truly too short, why are we not doing more stuff to like make us happy and be a little bit more fulfilled with the talents that we were given? I don't take this stuff for granted. I love it. And I'm just very grateful that I get to express it and show it. So, yeah, there's that. So I'm going to go ahead just for the sake of time. We're going to go, girl, I love you. I'm just very supportive. So other people, life artists, if you have a page that you would like to share, please do. Renee also has her channel. She's going to start that up soon. Hopefully she and I can go live together with the other wonderful people too. And, talk about her story and everything else, because truly it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. God is wonderful. I will just say that. Nice. Good for you. I love that. I love that you're doing that. Take a risk on yourself. Like you lose nothing just putting yourself out there. Because if you're not for someone or for the group that you think you could be a part of, you're going to be for someone else who's going to appreciate you even more. So I'm really excited about it. Hello, Rose. Hi. Oh, I miss you too. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Good morning. Cheers to everyone. Let's do a cheers. If you have a coffee cup, if you have something a little bit more spicy at 11 a.m. Eastern time, that is okay. This is a judgment-free zone. So I want you to raise your glass or cup or vessel, whatever it is you have your beveragino in. And cheers to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right, let's get started. So Miss Rose, I don't think you were here the last time. And if you didn't catch the last live, I'm teaching everyone how to do a version of this. This was my piece that I shared on my short. And we're doing complementary colors. So this is going to be a trilogy. So today I'm hoping to finish what I started with everyone, which is this one. So I think we're going to be able to do it. And I'm very, very excited about it. Because once I see all the flowers come together, that's when it really starts to like bring a tear to my little eye. So I went ahead now so we can get started. And I'm sorry, I would love to chit chat a little more, but I have a very strict 12:30 end time. It's Mother's Day weekend, and happy Mother's Day for all who celebrate and who are moms, etc. I just want to keep saying, you're valued, moms, everywhere. You're valued, even if your kids are in their preteen, Minecraft era. You're loved, okay? You are the Steve. You are the real OG Steve, okay? If you know, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and grab what I used from this first lighter purple that I mixed here. And I'm going to add, if you can see it, maybe it's not so light, maybe this way. Yeah, there we go. So I just added some more of the white with that to get an even lighter purple to do some more highlights. So I'm just taking my number 3 Skinny Legend brush. We have names for all our brushes here. And I'm just going to wet it just a little bit to dilute the paint, because I didn't do too much, because, for highlights, I can get kind of crazy. Like, it almost doesn't even, like, it's not supposed to be realistic. I just like how it looks. So if any of the makeup people here, if you do makeup, like, highlighter is one of my favorite things, like that very shiny, pearly, pearlescent type of like product that you put on your eyes, you put on the highest points of your face, the tip of your nose. It's just like when the light hits, it's like, oh, she's glossy. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I moved all this a little bit, but let me see if I could do this. Okay. It's a shot, and I'm going to start adding some highlights. So P.S. We're here because my hair is never down, but I was inspired by, she glossy, huh? Yes. I was inspired by the Mexican singer La Tejana, Miss Selena, who was just, first of all, one of the most beautiful women ever. Okay. Insanely talented, and just like gone too soon, truly. And if anything, if you were here for my last live, I did a whole letter to the deadly sin, envy. And the reason why was because, envy, I mean, a lot of us have experienced it, whether you realize that's what it was. We label it as jealousy, but this is actually a little worse. So Selena, being the beautiful woman that she was, and, I don't agree with necessarily having your children in the spotlight too young, but everyone has their own life path, their own journey. Who am I to judge that, right? Like, that's what her path was. And she was incredible at being a singer, at being a performer, just like when you see people and they just have this aura and this energy that feels so divine, and that they're so happy doing what they're doing. That was Selena. And I think that's part of the reason why she had so many fans worldwide, kind of like Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson's different. We'll get to him a different day, but I want to focus on Selena today. And the tragedy about Selena's story is how envy played such a big role that it literally took her life. And how terrifying that is, right? That like there are people who are so obsessed with wanting to be you that they'll literally go out of their way to harm you, because they can't, like, they want to wear your skin. They like want to be you. They want to destroy whatever it is for you. And, the thing about Selena that really impacted me with that is that, we hear it all the time. You got to be careful who you trust, who you have in your circle. P.S. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I think I might just go straight white for this highlight thing, because I'm going to show you real quick. I can see it, but I want it to be a little bit more obvious. So I just added some there. I'm going to add a white to make it really stand out. So sorry, side note. So the thing with Selena was like how envy really came for her through Yolanda, and Yolanda being who she was, like she's one of the type of people that, became obsessed with Selena, wanted to be around her, like became a president of her fan club, suggested all of these things. Like if Selena was like a modern day person, she would have a burner account. You know that. And yes, Melanie, you're right. They do dry darker. Acrylics do dry darker. So that Yolanda will have an account. That. Okay. So, it's just important, like the moral of that story, the unfortunate end to Selena's life, is just that you really have to be cautious when you choose to put yourself out there, who you surround yourself with, and like really listen to your intuition when it comes to certain people, places, and things, because not everyone has the best intentions for you, even though they mask it as such, right? Like that's terrifying, because like I'm the type of person that I want to believe everybody has the best intentions until they show you that they don't. But like nobody, like at least for me, I don't automatically want to live my life thinking everyone is a deviant. So, that Selena thing, what it happened, and I remember being a child watching, Primer Impacto. Put a cartwheel in the chat if you know what Primer Impacto is. Univision, Canal 41 in New York. with Don Francisco on Saturday, Sábado Gigante. So I remember watching him, well, not watching him, but watching the whole Selena thing and the coverage about it. And like literally thousands of people crying for her because of her impact and like the joy that she brought with her music and everything that she did. So it's just very like, if there's anything that I could share with people, it's like, whatever it is that you choose to do, just be sure that you surround yourself with the right crowd. Um, you know, People are, especially with the internet, if anything, it's a little bit more dangerous because people are a lot more clever now, like a lot more clever. And, you have to just be mindful of those things that you don't allow those type of energies into your life. And you just never know. Not everybody, and we've said this before, not everybody's your friend. So just be cautious and remove yourself. Let people think whatever they want to think. If they think they won something, congratulations, you won the prize of absolutely nothing. So it is what it is. So like with Yolanda, like I could just only imagine like if Selena would have trusted her gut and not engage with that woman, like would she still be here today? Like we got to think about that. Like on the spiritual, you guys, the devil is alive. Don't let it fool you. Don't let these people think that like, that's why like this whole AI thing and, oh, real ID this, all of that. Yeah, no, they just want more and more information. Can you believe in schools, they are not teaching children cursive anymore? Moment of silence for that, because let me tell you something. I have a problem with that. It may not be because of the reasons that, it might seem like a very silly issue to bring up. It really isn't. The reason why I have a problem with that is because most of our Constitution is written in cursive. We already don't know Old English like that, right? Why are they now removing cursive from the curriculum? Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for cursive, I wouldn't be able to get all these elegant lines, the loop-de-loops. I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm just like, people with younger children, pay attention to what your children are being taught, because the devil is alive, honey. And the things that, it starts like that. It's like, oh, here, like, let's take this out because, it's not really necessary, but it is. The Constitution is in cursive. Certain documents are in cursive. Why remove something when most of the way to read things is in that particular script? I just like those are the things that boggled my mind. Like I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So what am I doing? I'm teaching my daughter cursive. Because like, prior to I used to do a lot of like letter work. I love writing letters. I just think there's something very cool about, experimenting with the shape of things. And that's where I can get a little abstract and not be in my Rococo vibes. If you know from last time, you know what I'm talking about. So I just realized I'm like, I'm going to teach my daughter cursive because you know what? Even if she doesn't have to use it because she doesn't want to be a lawyer or whatever the case may be. See, Erin, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, at least in New York, I didn't know like what do I call him? My nephew, but he's not my sister-in-law's child. He's their cousin's child. Is it a cousin? But he's not directly blood related to me. See, like even that, the family tree, like I'm like, who is the one-off cousin off to the side that had baby with Juan Pablo, Maria? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But basically, he's a little bit older than my daughter. And like, he was saying that he doesn't know cursive and they stopped teaching cursive. And I'm like, I don't like that. And maybe I shouldn't do that too much because, we're not trying to prematurely age. Yeah, I said that. Anyway, she can be, look, it's fine. Okay. It's fine. If you like, skincare, Botox, whatever it is that makes you happy, do whatever you got to do, baby. I don't care. It's whatever you want. So anyway, it just was very interesting to me that they don't teach it anymore. And it just kind of was like, I don't know how I felt about that. But anyway, the long and short of it all is that you can teach your children anything. And I choose to teach my daughter cursive especially nowadays. I don't want her to be all like ignorant to things. And if anything, she can use that cursive for art. Like it is a skill. It's kind of like, learning to write. It's a motor skill, and having the ability to do, kind of like people who speak multiple languages, their brain operates a different way. It just feels like they're just trying to make us more brain dead. Is it just me? Like, don't think this way. Let me feed you what you need to think. Use AI. Don't do the skill. Rely on this. That's why I'm like very weary of people who are pushing this too much, because it's like, then at what point are we human as opposed to becoming the AI that gets to be programmed? We are programmed. Did you know? We are programmed to some degree. And we're emotionally manipulated by these programs. Because if we are divine beings, most of us are, I'm going to say that everybody in the chat, for the most part, who's participating and not lurking, okay? Most of y'all are. But, what are they trying to do? They're trying to just keep abusing the emotions to kind of get us to agree with some BS. It's like, no, like, my human experience is not dictated by what something else has to say. I don't want that. My childhood was that. Follow everything that I say because I said so, like Christy has said earlier. No. As an adult, I get to choose now. And I don't want to choose the same BS at all. I want to choose different. And I will choose different, and I will be different. I'm just working in this eye right now, and what a great choice to do the brown plus all of these darker, lighter purple, yellows, drawing them into the center. It's just giving me so much life. Life artist. It's giving me you on the canvas. Hold on. Let me just like get in these lines. I get lost in the lines, you guys. Like it's such a freeing moment. And as a recovering perfectionist, because if you know anything about a Taurus, honey, aside from having impeccable taste in many things, we love order and perfection. That's one thing. I'm like, listen, y'all want to program me? You want to reprogram me? My factory reset is still going to be stubborn. Like, hello? You sure you want to do that? What's your factory reset? Put a cartwheel in the chat if you go back to normal. If anything, you might bring me closer to God, honey. Thank you. Anyway, we're just clearing up our girl. I'm going to show you what the white highlights did. And this is why I love this, and how even if you aren't the greatest artist, just applying these type of like techniques levels up your paintings so much better. And also just like not thinking about it too much, especially for somebody like me who thinks a lot. And I mean, you can tell that I can speak for an hour and 18 minutes on the dot. It's just like I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot to say in a short amount of time. So it's just nice to know how to kind of like let loose and just let the art do the art things. So this is where we're at. So you see how the light kind of helped add a little bit more like life to these branches. And even in the eye, it's starting to pick up and draw into the center as well. I love that. I wish like it's a lot brighter in person than it is showing up on the screen. But I'm going to keep working with Miss Skinny Legend before we add our florals. And then we can key, honey, because I'm doing good on time today. The ancestors, the matriarchs, the ones who came before me are like, we need you to celebrar today. So we're going to help you get through this. So I'm going to be a little bit rogue here. I love the white and the purple, but here's a thought. And this is a part of like art that is very interesting. Sometimes we get lost in the sauce, right? And we do a piece and we're like, yes, I love this. The contrast is nice. But then if I did purple branches, yellow flowers are going to get lost, especially in this center area. They will be thriving over here, but in the center area, they may not do as well. So my brain is thinking currently that maybe we add some yellow to these branches in some areas to really pick up and start blending a little bit. I'll show you it's better for me to show you than to tell you, because sometimes I don't have the vocabulary lined up to be able to say that. So let's go ahead and start. So anyway, what were we talking about? Being robots? Yeah, I'm really obsessed with that right now. I'm like so obsessed with that because I'm like, I don't want to be a robot. God did not design robots. And there's no disrespect to the robots. It's just more like I am a human being with flesh, a soul that's inside. And, I'm here to help you. Okay. You can call me the internet, Latina auntie, la tia. I'm like your tia that's, healing my inner child with you. This was a good choice. I'll show you in a second. So, I don't know. I just think that there's too much of an investment in keeping us brain dead and not, being able to think for ourselves that this is what we're seeing now. It's this obsession with replacing humanity. There's some certain places where, they're starting to have wombs. Yes, you heard me right. Wombs, artificial wombs to birth souls onto the earth. And I'm like, yes, I know the birth rate is low, but do we know why? I mean, they're giving us every other poisonous fruit that you could think of. I mean, Adam and Eve only had an apple to worry about. And here we are, we can't even breathe the air without them, these leeches of society, because I'm not going to call them elites, because we got, words carry power. Okay. We're not doing that. I mean, what else are we doing here? It just feels very much like, what's happening here? Are people still asleep? Wake up. The alarm is still going off. Wake up. I just can't force you to do it, but please, levántate. Go brush your teeth. Go do something. Start painting, start drawing, because the more that we uplift humanity and encourage people to remember, remember in Lion King when Mufasa tells Simba, remember who you are. And Rafiki was a scandal. Rafiki was out of control. Like, sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down. He's like, and that's squash banana. Like, yo, he was out of control, that guy. That guy, he's a curious guy, that one. But, you got to remember. Please remember who you are. Heal the wounds. Don't carry it. So think about it. I've been very also fascinated. Let me show you really quick before I get into my other fascination. Millions of them that I have. So up here, I started adding a little bit more yellow, same down here, just to kind of tie all of it together. So you guys, I think it's time for florals. So excited. So I got to think. Listen. Yes, Rafiki is so out of control. Mr. Rafiki. Mr. Rafiki needs to calm down. Sir, senor, pero what are you doing? Calm down. I don't need you yelling at me and hitting me over the head. I'm from New York. I'll deck you in your face. Stop playing with me. My God, no. So I am thinking, because I don't remember which brush I used to do all of these impressions, because that's what it gives. So what I love about, I don't know if any of you, well, for the people who know art, and even if you're not an artist, but you respect and know art, the Impressionists were always doing little dots. The Monets of the world would do it's almost like the pond with the lilies. It's very this Impressionist type esque influence with the flowers. So it's that it's a flower, even though it's not a direct representation of a flower. It just gives that. So I'm going to do that with, I think I'm going to go with my filbert. And actually, no, I am going to go with a new brush because I want to do a little bit, since our eye in this one is a little bit smaller and our branches there's a lot more. We can get a little bit more creative and actually start adding some stuff. So I'm going to go with another flat brush, but I'm going to go with a smaller flat brush to start adding some flowers. And let's see where it takes us. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be so pretty. Because you know what I thought now too, if we focus some of the lighter purples and purples here, especially around the eye, because I love this, like where it outlines with the flowers. We're going to do that same principle to this one. And I wanted like just add like some of the purples and yellows, but we'll layer as the paint starts to dry. We'll add the lighter yellow colors after the darker and lighter purples start to go. So let me see how the chat is doing. How we doing? Yeah, we were talking about Rafiki. Rafiki. He has no disrespect to the, listen. I need to manifest it and put it out there that there is no disrespect to technology, because I do think that there is a place for it, just like everything else, just like there's a place for you and a place for me. But it is what it is. Rena, yes, I love that you guys are chatting. Please, I love the energy. Just chat away. Like, you know, if you can pay attention, great. And if you can't, that's all right too. If you want to watch. Oh, and P.S. to all of the people who have, you know, who voted in my last little poll that you were going to also join me. Thank you. And if you're just watching, thank you too. Like, I love that if this has inspired you to pick up a paint brush and start painting with a canvas, or if you're doing paint by numbers or whatever it is, I love that. Thank you, because that is just, it just makes me so happy to hear that. So I'm going to take my lighter purple from the original set here. Which one was it called? I think it was the mauve pale. So I'm going to start with that and then also add it to the rest of this color here, these two. I'm going to work light and then get darker. And what I'm going to do literally is start to just press the edge of the brush. Here's my beauty influencer. Yes, Terry. So at the edge, so you know how like this is how the brush is normally. It's like flat. I'm going to use it on the side. So Terry's paint by numbers is probably so fire. I'm letting you know right now. I'm letting you know right now. She's definitely like creating a masterpiece and none of us even know it. I already know it. So I'm going to start going in. And I'm just going to use the side of my brush to just like make, let's see if I can hold it like this for a second. Just literally do this. Can you see that? It almost creates petals so that I don't go overboard. Let me get back to this, but that's what we're going to do all around. And you're just going to keep adding as many little petals, happy little petals, wherever they may be. And the beauty about it is that they're not perfect. So especially since we have all of this yellow, it's going to really pick up that purple so nicely. Oh, can I tell you right now? Que bonito. I don't know, you guys. Is this one going to top the other one? Because I did it with all of you. I don't know. It might. Yes. Oh, I love it already. It's so pretty. And yeah, let's just keep working that. So while I'm adding little petals, yeah, so remember people, remember who you are, question everything, question the source of things, you guys, please do. Not everything is as it seems. We are on the devil's playground, you know, and people make it like, you know, I'm just like, if they keep pushing a certain agenda, I'm like, listen, why are y'all so pressed to have us believe this? It doesn't feel right. Like, it's almost like they're making you question your own intuition. And I don't like that. Like when people try too hard to convince you of something that you already intuitively feel like it's wrong, it's like, why are you doing that? You know, it's okay that we don't have to agree. Like, it's all right. Like, do you, boo-boo? That's all right. Stop. Yes. No worries, Renee. You're all good. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Miss Cicely Lover. Welcome back. You were drinking Tito's? Girl, I'm going to have some Espolón tequila today. Cheers to that. Yes. Yes. Go ahead, Rose. I love that he's using it for that purpose. And that's what I mean. Like, AI can be used for something really great if you want it to. Like, I don't have an issue with technology. I just have an issue when the purpose is to replace human ingenuity and human thought. That's where I have a problem with it, you know? But I do think that there is like, look, as a homeschooler, I will tell you right now, it's been coming in clutch for certain things, and I'm sure that it'll come in clutch for other things. So I'm okay with that. But you know, for businesses and such, like I think that's great that people use it. There is a purpose for it. Oh, this is now what we're getting. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm yelling at you. Yes. Because now I'm adding white and just straight white with the rest of the purple on the brush. So it kind of picks up some of that color. And we're just gonna keep adding this to the canvas and kind of dotting it around. I love that. And I also love how unique each piece is going to be, because that's the thing. I don't like to really map out what I'm doing. I just go for things. And that's very rare and a rare characteristic for someone like me who likes to be organized and prepared for things. When it comes to art, it's the one time that I can kind of let loose and not feel so restricted in the things that I'm doing, because so much of my life is structured that it's nice to feel free in the work that you do. Like, I don't really reference anything other than, you know, nature. Like, I'll go for a walk and I'll just be like, you know, this is what I like to do. If it comes like, and obviously because I have an art background, I am familiar with various styles. Like, I know it's very cliche to say this, but I love Frida. Like, I feel like in a past life, she's giving Frida. Okay. Like, I mean, if you've watched Coco, there's a part in the movie where Manuel goes to Frida's studio and she has like, she's about to perform in the afterlife. And he like basically inspires her with the music that he thinks would be great for her piece. And, you know, she's there like, you know, her skeletal self is there and is like, yes, yes, yes. And she's like, and then we will have lots of Fridas coming out of the papaya. That, like, I feel like this is what I'm giving there. It's like, that's the energy I am. It's like, I love that freedom of just being so random and wild, you know, I do love that. But anyway, Clamato. Wow, you all are giving me inspirations for later. Can I do this with tequila? I do have vodka, but like I said, I think tequila, if I'm going to indulge in a beveragino, it has to be tequila. I enjoy it thoroughly. If you like Moscow mules, try it with tequila. That ginger beer, the one that's by Fever Tree, is fantastic. It's also non-alcoholic. So for all the people who don't do all of the fun things like that, and it's not because it's only fun for, you know what I mean? It's nice to, it's good. It's a good summer cocktail if you're into that. So I'm going to now go in with yellow. I'm going to go with the lemon yellow that I have here. This one. Yeah, this one. And I'm going to start adding some yellow to the darker areas. Oh, yes. Definitely going to keep this one more towards the purple, towards the ends, and a little bit towards the center of the eye to kind of pick up. Because then it starts to blend too much into the back, but I'm going to have to darken this yellow a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. Wait until I go in with the darker colors. Then it's really going to, I'm going to really be cooking with gas. And again, just using the flat brush number 2, just to kind of add all of these beautiful details. Oh, so pretty. I love to look back and be like, I did that. So bonito. All right. Anybody else's allergies killing them? Because Lord have mercy, it has been a processo. Ooh, Bloody Marys. It's not the elderberry one. It's just a regular Fever Tree. I know that Fever Tree sells different flavors. They actually have it at Whole Foods. the 4-pack, but when I go to Costco, I just get the plain ginger beer flavor because it is really good on its own too. It's just like a nice fizzy cocktail base if you're into that. I love fizzy cocktails. Like that's my thing. And I like things with like good balanced flavor. You guys, it's so pretty. I want to cry. It's so cute. It's already coming together so beautifully with this. But you know what? I'm going to wait to show it to you. I want to add some more colors. And just the beauty of like not so expensive art supplies and that you can create something this beautiful is just so exciting. And the fact that I made it with all of you, I might be able to complete this before 12:30, you guys. This is so exciting. I have an hour still and I'm like making really good progress. So now that I went in with my lemon yellow, I'm going to go with my mid yellow. Yes, it's actually called that. You don't believe me? Here. What does that say? Mid yellow. She's mid. All right, so I'm going to go in. Yes. And look, don't be afraid to get like all of that, like the chunky bits of paint in there. That texture is what it's about. I love the texture of like that chunky paint. It looks really, really nice. Yes. And I might mix it with a little bit of a darker color to just have a little bit more variation in terms of the yellows. So it's going to be a little bit more orangey. Maybe it might be that muddled color with the when I mix the complements together. And this just adds a little bit more of like a little punch of color here, which is just so beautiful. Oh, and that's the thing. Like I was walking around and in my area, there's just so many trees that are blossoming right now. Obviously it's spring. So we see all of these beautiful flowers. And I'm like, how does nature do this? Like, how do you know? It's so miraculous. Like I'm over here, we're all trying to reinvent the wheel and it's like nature got it down pack. And that's another, I'm going to segue into that, what I wanted to talk about too, which is, understanding just like nature has a purpose, every flower, every tree, every bird chirping at a certain time, butterfly, etc. Most of us on a soul level kind of operate in that type of vibe too, because I'll give you the analogy of my tomato plant and that pot there. And I may have shared this with my girls, so I apologize for the repeat in that. But I'm obsessed, you guys. It's so pretty already. It needs more of the darker purple in the center, but like I'll show you really quickly. Look, it's coming together. You see what I mean? Like little blobs, the little bloops of paint. That's what you want. This is what you want, little bloopalinis. Okay, bloopalinis. Babalina, Rosalina with the bloopalinis. So now we're going to go into the dark one. So anyway, understanding how nature works is such a great, interesting thing because, some of us, like, you notice how people will try to copy someone or do, try to follow someone else's footsteps. Now, I'm a big believer that is a form of spiritual hijacking, okay? Anyone who's trying to bite off your vibe or try to be like you or anything like that is just merely a reflection of how little that person wants to do their own reflection for themselves. And like nature, and why I bring this up is because nature teaches us that, maybe this lifetime, you're not the tomato plant. Maybe this lifetime, you're not the basil. Maybe this lifetime, you're not the marigold. But what does happen is that within that ecosystem, each plant knows exactly what to do. They're not questioning if they're a marigold or not. They just know that they are. They know that this lifetime, they're the ones to attract the pollinators, while the tomato plant is the one to bear fruit. So when you think about life in that aspect, you start to reflect within yourself to be like, well, what version am I in all of this? Am I the tomato? Am I the marigold? Am I the purple basil? That takes self-reflection for you to get to that point. And however, how does your role is important no matter which one it is, because it is what keeps the ecosystem cohesive and working together. It's needed. So some of us, like what they'll say, like, I had to crawl for you to walk, for you to run, for you to fly. Sometimes we focus too much outwardly in seeing what others are doing and trying to fit a blueprint that wasn't designed for you. Have you thought of that? I mean, why are you trying to be a marigold girl? You're here to bear fruit. Why are you hiding? Maybe you're meant to be the manager of the tomates. Maybe you're supposed to attract the bumblebees, the pollinators, so that the tomatoes can be juicy and taste better. You know, that's a part of it. And I think that, like, that's why I tell people, like, it's so imperative truly to do the inner reflection of what works for you. What works for you may not work for others, and that's okay. You also have to remember your position. Maybe your position this lifetime is not to be the tomato. Maybe you're supposed to be more of a supporting character. Like, for me, if my daughter decides one day that she wants to do the internet or whatever the case may be, and I already have an online presence, okay, she can do that. Maybe my career won't be as big, but if this inspires her to take it to another level, then God bless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not feeling no type of way. I'm happy for her. But the difference is that you have to have a level of understanding. Oh, and P.S., I took Filbert. I put my number 2 flat to rest. Thank you very much, my darling. You did very good pedal work. She's the underdog, okay? But we're going to take Mr. Filbert to add a little bit more of, like, the pedalese, if that makes sense, because I want more of, like, a different shape, so that way you can have, like, variety and it looks a little bit more organic like that. So anyway, like, you have to know your position. But sometimes people are out here, like, really trying to fit a role and be in someone else's shoes. That's not, like, when people are like, oh, until you walk my shoes. Well, respectfully, I don't want to walk your shoes. I want to walk my own. And I need to figure out what size that is. What am I here to do? So, like, you look at hip hop. I was listening to Little Kim the other day. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. Quote the song. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. I was listening to her and I'm like, Nicki, Cardi, Ice Spice, all of them, the colorful wigs, like, she was doing that first. I don't care how you feel about her. She was the blueprint. Britney Spears was the blueprint. Let's stop pretending that she wasn't. Because all the pop girlies are trying to do what she's doing. Like that Tate McRae, whatever her name is, the Canadian girl, she's love her. Like, yo, she's talented as hell. It doesn't mean that you can't have talent. You can be talented. Like, we're all, like, a lot of us are artists. We're all different, right? But, like, or we're in some version, but it's like, what is your formula? What's your formula? The way that, like, look, y'all can replicate my art. You can't replicate the energy. You will never look like me. You will never be like me. I don't want you to. I want you to find what that is for you. But I know there's people who will try to do that because they don't want to sit with themselves and just accept that this lifetime, maybe this isn't your position, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's all right, girl. Like, you're going to be all right. You got to just find what's for you. And sometimes it's not this, because, walking someone else's shoes comes with a very big responsibility that you may not understand, because it wasn't for you to understand. It wasn't your position. But, people will fight you tooth and nail for this shit. And it's like, instead of reflecting on what works for them. So, I always just implore people, like, really do the work. The work is what ends up telling you what it is that you're meant to do. And, that's a part of this YouTube space. It's like, there's many gurus and, all of that stuff. And that's great. Look, I'm not everybody's messenger, but I might be somebody's. in that moment. Maybe I was designed for a reason to bring awareness in some capacity to something. Great. But I didn't know that I was capable of doing this until I realized, honestly, like putting myself out there to this level, I was like, oh shit, like I'm actually, like people are listening. So you start to realize that maybe I shouldn't be petty. Maybe I shouldn't be an asshole. Maybe I should be more mindful of how I come off. Maybe I should reflect, take responsibility where I messed up. Maybe I should, mend bridges that maybe I started to burn unintentionally because I didn't think that I had any impact. I didn't think that my words meant anything to anybody because for so long, my childhood taught me how much they didn't because I was ignored or pushed to the side. So then when you come into a space and then you're like received in such a way, then you start to think about things and you're like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be like this. Maybe I shouldn't engage in bullshit. Like I'm better than this. I can do better than this. But it also comes with responsibility of understanding that like you got to take responsibility for how you show up, right? Like I don't think that, people realize that you're held to a different standard when you start to put yourself out there. So there's different expectations set for you than for others who can hide behind a name. My face is on the internet now. My words are on the internet. And, I want to be more mindful of that. I didn't come into the space thinking that I was going to be here. And that was my mistake. Like I got too comfortable in an old energy and I shouldn't have done that. Like I should have just been more smart and not been, trying to be too comfortable in an energy that I was so used to. Because listen, honey, Latin people, kind of like Italian people, like the old ladies, like I'm in my Nona era. I just want everybody to know I'm in my Nona era. I like the soft crackers. I like dipping my cookies in coffee. I like the frills. I like the doilies. As I'm adding more petals. I mean, the art is very reminiscent of where I'm at in my life. Okay. Like I really do enjoy it. And, sometimes nonas can be a little shady. They can be a little bit too much. And you're like, oh my God, why are you saying that? But you know what? Sometimes they're right. They're right. And that's a very Latino thing. Like Latino people, like it's the gossip folk, it's the Missy Elliott's of the world. It's like how did that thing go? Like that thing, like the people who know the song know what I'm talking about. But you're just like, yo, like I'm making a difference. I got to get my act right. I can't be moving around like this because if I'm really impacting people the way that it's being seen, I don't want to be known for, or come off like a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, have I talked shit? Yes. Yes. I think all of us have. But will I be a prisoner to a perception of my past? No. I'm not going to do that. With love and light and respect, I'm not going to do that because that's just like, people see you rising and then, it just becomes a topic of like trying to bring you down. And it's like, it's fine though, but I know what I'm here to do now. And that's why like I was, I dressed like Selena a little bit today because it's like, the Yolandas of the world do exist and they do want to take you out and do certain things and say certain things. They don't want you to grow because growth is a threat to someone's stagnancy. And, instead of staying stuck, you can elevate, you can grow. And I think that that's where I'm at too. Like we are all curators of our own reality. And while I may not be perfect, which should not be the expectation for anyone, I know that like I'm more intentional about what I say now, who I'm around, etc. Because like I am making a difference and that means something to me. I did not think coming back into the space that I would ever have any type of influence. And I don't care if it's one person watching me or zero. Like the fact that if I have the ability to share a skill and it changes someone's perspective for the better, that they come to that conclusion on their own because something that I'm saying is resonating with them, that's power, you guys. And that is not power you take lightly. That is a big responsibility. And that's why I think it's important to understand your internet footprint. Know that, it is going to be what it is, but also like just be mindful of how you show up. Like, not everything, you don't have to share everything about yourself. You don't have to be too open to an audience. Like, I think that there is a way to be vulnerable without it having to be like, my entire life story. You don't got to drag anybody about it. Cause like, there's people in my past that, oh, it is tempting to be like, I want to talk about this person, but I don't, because it's like, God is showing me how beautiful this experience can be if I choose to just stay grounded and level-headed and stay focused on what matters. And during this period of kind of being more in isolation, it's been really important for me to see that, like, I'm healing my inner wounds and my inner child by doing this, by showing art, by putting this out there and putting myself out there in a way that I couldn't even conceptualize at first because of the fear of not being received. And then God is like, hey, this group of people really love you. You're helping. It's surreal, you guys. Like, it's surreal. And then to have these miracles happen, to be in like cool with certain people, like, it's something to have immense gratitude for, because the goal is never to be perfect. And again, that's a childhood wound that I struggled with as a young woman, where, and especially in Latin culture, like, you have to be a certain way. There's certain expectations for you. And to be free of that and to be received without having to put on a mask, like, I mean, look, it's a little mask because I have concealer, but you know what I mean? Like, I can still be myself and be loved for who I am versus being a version of myself that I think people would be more receptive to. That's been a huge learning lesson. Like, this is genuine. Like, this is me. This is me on the daily. This is mom. This is who I am. Chimi, the hair, the hoops, the thing. And I think that even at my age, like we tell our young kids, be yourself, but none of us really truly understand what that means until you start to feel good in that. And like, for the first time in my life, I feel so like content and very giving much. I don't give a fuck syndrome, respectfully. Like, I just don't, because you know what? Like, I'm here. I understand my mission now and the immense responsibility that comes with it. And to be trusted by God to deliver it is why, like, I'm going to remain focused on what I'm supposed to do. Welcome to Matrix 2026. Yes, it feels like the freaking Matrix. But it is liberating. It's such a liberating feeling to be like, I'm just content being myself. And that has been a struggle for me my whole life, to have gone through the experiences I've gone through. And it's not for a pity party, but just like to see how far you've come and not wearing a cross that wasn't for you, because, as somebody, like, I'm sure many of you can feel that like, sometimes you carry burdens that aren't yours. Excuse me. And sometimes you have, people who still want to keep you trapped to a version of yourself that you've outgrown. And you don't have to do that, you guys. Like, you can free yourself of that. Free yourself of expectations of whatever version of reality people try to keep you stuck on. You don't have to live that existence. And just know that respectfully, then those people aren't meant to be in your life anymore. And having that awareness and sending people off with love and light is like the biggest thing that I've learned, truly. Like, I'm turning 40 next week. And P.S., I'm going to be on Truth and Transparency on Wednesday with Lana. And, we're going to kiiiii. I did tell her, like, I'm not, into the true crime space anymore. And it's not because I don't love justice. I do love justice, but I do think that, like I said in my last live, there is a level of toxicity that comes with being in that space too often and being too invested in it, that taking breaks and moving away from it sometimes is what's necessary to be able to stay grounded. And I am a big proponent of that. Please do what works for you. And it doesn't have to be this whole big thing, but whatever we get into, if it's a certain person, I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm not trying to invoke any type of person. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to keep it cute and classy. I am not interesada. Okay. Like. And yes, life artists, it's being authentic versus considering societal expectations. A lot of them are sexist and contradictory. Yes, 100%. So I think it's like, if anything, is to inspire people that even if I'm the face that is on the internet on your screen right now, putting myself out there to this level, it's to inspire you to do that in your own lives or to start your channel. Like, I think there's room for all of us to exist and strive together. Like, if you want to show your artwork, you have wisdom to share, do that. We need more of this light energy, in this dark space. We need more people who are stepping up to be the leaders in sharing their light. And all of us have that. And especially those of us who stay prayed up, honey, we have that light, and we're being called to express it through art, through music, through singing, through words, writing, speeches, whatever it is that resonates with you, or even what Miss 808 is doing. Like, she's doing spray tans for people, and it may seem like whatever to others, but like, what a privilege it is to be in a job, that in a career that you're starting, to help others feel good. Like, you look great after you're like a little tan, you get that sun-kissed glow, and like, you step out of there seamless, like you were just sitting in the sun, and Miss 808 hooked you up. Beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, it's the business of feeling better, doing things that make us feel good. And like, what hits the soul level? What hits you at that level of elevation versus stagnancy? What is going to help you evolve past the BS that you've been through? Like, we all been through something, right? Like, we've all done things that we may regret. We've all not been perfect. Again, not the expectation, nor should it ever be. But if you're somebody who's just going to stay stuck in that energy, then you need to, and I'm not going to say you need to, I would implore you to revisit what it means to reflect and get back into that space, because reflection will teach you a lot about yourself. And in those times where you feel like, you're looking outside of yourself for validation or whatever the case may be, it's so important to look inward and just see that, the answers that you're seeking are right there. They're not going to be in a man. They're not going to be in a woman. They're not going to be in a relationship. They're not going to be in a Chanel bag. They're not going to be in the 8th slice of cake that you're tempted to eat. They're not going to be in, whatever bottle of tequila that you want to drink. The answers are not there, honey. It's not there. The answers lie within. And when you take a second to actually take the time to reflect and, have something to aspire to, that's holding yourself personally accountable. And pointing the finger at everything else is easy. But saying, yo, I messed up, I did something wrong, I'm sorry, I did X, Y, and Z, or like, I should have handled this a little bit differently, that's personal responsibility. No one should be above that. And I always hold out for hope that people will do better. And I always believe that in these spaces, especially where it feels very saturated and competitive, there's a lane for all of us. And, I'm just going to keep inspiring others to do what feels right to you. I highly encourage all my artist people on here, put your work out there. Do you want to paint together? We could do that. Elevate your crew. talk about it. Like the reason I talk about everybody's business or like telling people to do that is because I love entrepreneurial spirit. It takes so much courage to do what you're doing. So please do it. Don't be afraid. Your inner child, believe it or not, is asking for that. Most of our traumas and our inability to do things is due to the healing or the lack thereof because of our prior experiences. And, when you start to understand that, you start to realize like you've been capping yourself for so long over fear, over conditioning that now as an adult, you have the power to let go of. And you have the power to actually do something beneficial to elevate your bloodline. Like all the work that I'm doing now, and as I self-reflect on when I make errors, when I make mistakes, even if they're intentional, because I got an ego too. I just have to constantly and consciously make a choice to not let that be the driving force in a lot of things. I can't say I always get that right, but I've learned that I had to learn how to regulate my own emotional self to be like, let me take a pause. Let me think before I do something, because I don't want it to have repercussions that'll trickle down to now my daughter. And especially in the online world where all of this lives forever, I don't want her to even know me as Chimi Speaks. And then, one day she looks it up and she sees her mom and she acting a fool on the internet. No, she deserves better than that. She shouldn't have to carry that generational trauma, nor should I be creating it. No, we're not doing that. So I just tell people, it's never too late to reflect. It's never too late to start your career. It's never too late to find your purpose. I mean, most people find it when they're older, and I understand why. You have a lot more time to kind of, sit and, do your own thing, watch if you have children, they've already lived their own lives. And then when you're doing your own thing, you just have more opportunity to be more reflective. And, it's your generation, like my mom's generation, like the boomers, that I tell her, I'm like, you know what? Technology really came for y'all the worst, because you're at the end phase of your life and you've spent most of your life suppressing all of the things that you could have worked on earlier, but you're too busy doom scrolling or watching telenovelas. Like the telenovelas are not more important than the work that you still have to do, because you still have life. You still have breath. And why aren't you more focused on, healing the aspects that kept you bound? Because you know what? I don't want none of y'all to have to repeat this life. Again, my factory reset is stubborn. Okay. If I come back as a Taurus, honey, she's still going to be a Taurus. Okay. I don't want, and if anything, I'm just hoping that this old soul that resides in this vessel doesn't have to come back to this stuff, you guys. I'm good for a couple lifetimes. I would like to be with my divine creator, hanging out, doing whatever, and not having to deal with this playground anymore. I've learned a lot and I am ready to move on to the next phase. Maybe what I'm going to come back as is an alien. That could be kind of cool. That could be kind of fire. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I will be an alien. Alien. Maybe my name will be Maria. I love Maria. I love Maria. You guys, this is so pretty. I love this so much. It's definitely different than the last one, but I feel like I want to add a little something more. I want to get your opinion on what you think, because there's an area here that I feel like it needs a little something, and I can't quite put my finger on what it needs, but I'm going to show you in a second where I'm at. And sorry, thank you for my rant there. I tend to do that sometimes. I hope that's okay. I mean, that's why you're here probably. Okay, let's see. It is pretty cool though. Like I added some more details. Ooh, what do we think? I kind of live. They're very different. So this definitely gives a little bit of a lighter than this one. So what I like about this one is how much the eye feels like it stands out more. This one, I feel like I still need to work on just getting that like impact there. So I think I might have to go in with another color, because what I realized with this one is that I did some yellows. So maybe I might want to pull maybe like a little bit of a darker yellow or like a orangey type. We'll see. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited. Listen, and I got still 25 minutes. We're making progress. We're making like very much so. I think it's because I went with the darker brown eye. It kind of like, but if anything, it feels more like instead of it sticking out, it kind of all comes at you at once, right? Yes, I agree, life artist. I do need more of a contrasting color to kind of bring it out a little bit more. I'm just trying to think like, what do I want? And yeah, I think orange too. I think the orange would be really nice. So let's try. And then if anything, we can always paint over it. So let's see. Let me put back some of these paints because I'm one of those people that has to be incredibly organized when I can be. I may not wash this out, but my paints will always be in the right place. So let's see. So let's put these purples here. But yeah, I think like an orangey color would be great. So I do agree. In the chat. Yes, and with a hint of red. And actually, you know what's so crazy? I have like the two colors. I have the orange yellow, but then I also have vermilion red next to it. So I don't think I've opened either of these, but I do need a little bit more of a pop. So actually, oh, I did open this orange one. That's right, because I used it for that painting. So it just needs like a little extra to make the other colors pop. I love this collaborative thing, you know, because sometimes like as artists, and especially since I have a goal, the beautiful thing about art is that when it can be collaborative, you come up with things that you never thought that you could. And I think that's the beauty of all of this, is being able to do something so different and make it more of an interactive process. Because then also it helps improve your skills too when you're getting advice from really awesome people, you know? Like, I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and mix a little bit of this red with this yellow orange. Let's see what we're working with. Especially in these like more muddier colors, it needs like a little like, you know what I mean? A little. Listen, don't get me started. All right, let's see. Let's get some. Of course, life artist. Look, I think it may have been you who was starting a channel. If it's you, please, whenever you start your channel, please feel free to like put it in the chat. I am happy to share. I know I may not be a big channel right now, but I'm just happy to elevate other artists and people who are doing and pursuing their passions. Like, I love an entrepreneurial spirit, so I'm very grateful for that. And for you all to take the time to be here with me, even if it's like for a little bit. You know, and replay, my replay people, thank you also as well to all of you. You don't have to spend your time here, but the fact that you want to is such a huge honor for me. So I'm very grateful for that. All right, so let's see. Let's go in with it and see. Life artist. This was the move. I mean, already. Stop. 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 Yes, this was the move. And it's like very like subtle. So it just kind of gives it a little bit more life. Oh, more life for life artists. Oh, I love it so much. I love this. Yes. Because then it's just, that's it. Exactly, Rose. Yes, Miss 808. Clap, applause. Can we get an applause in the chat for life artists and everyone else who has suggested certain thing? I am just like, yes, it needed a little bit more life. Because that's the thing with working with compliments, it definitely is beautiful together. But, you know, even if, what is a term called when you're matching colors together within the same, like within, like, so if it's like orange, pink, and like another, like they're like within the same family. I don't remember what it's called. I apologize. But oh, this pop is, let me just not get too heavy handed because that's the other thing. I end up loving it and I'm like, I want it everywhere. But I know exactly, I'm going to still use my number 3 round brush to really bring it in these little pockets where it just feels a little too saturated. Because that's the thing, like our default when we paint or when we draw is to always use black to like create shadow. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just more like you can create shadow with using complements. So I learned that actually with watercolors. Like watercolors are still really difficult for me because it's more of a patience thing. Like I'm a patient person for some things, but for others, I'm like, I cannot wait for this paper to dry. I want to finish. I'm very like, committed to the craft when it's happening and I need like results. It's just like, the gratification part of it. But this is it, you guys. This was such a good choice. Thank you again. It's almost like gradients, yes, but it's not it's not gradients. It starts with an M, I think. It's almost like it's not monochromatic either. It's colors within the same like family that work together. So when you see people in an outfit that's like orange, red, and yellow, it's that type of thing that they're within the same area of the color wheel. I forget the term, but that's apparently like a thing now. Like, people dress that way. So in fashion, people use that. It's like one of the new things that people love to do, which is kind of cool. Oh, you guys, this is so pretty. I'm like, just like, I could cry. Like, what a well, to do it live is another thing, right? Like, I didn't expect this to be like this, but like, geez, it is so good. And you know what? I'm adding a little bit of like the remnants. Is that what we say? Remnants of the brush, of the paint from that orangey red color to the eyeball. And it's definitely helping with like creating a little bit more depth and just like letting it come out a little bit. Oh, stop. What are we doing on time? 12:12, make a wish. What a nice rounded number there. Not rounded, you know what I mean. A mirroring number, kind of. Repetitive. You guys, I am tempted, now that it's there, I'm tempted to add it to like little areas here and there. I'm going to go for it. Why not? Let's just go with the flow, you guys. We're just in this is my classical music right now. I love this so much, you guys. Oh, you know she's into the zone if she's doing a little bit of these. Hold on, and I realized like my canvas is all here. I'm sorry, the positioning of this. Doing this with a laptop is a big deal, but I'm also not one of those people who like I want to talk to y'all. Maybe see how cute the hair is looking, sorry. But also like I really love like I don't want to give my back to somebody. No, que falta de respeto. My people are here. Oh. So I have 15 minutes. Let's see where we go. But I think we're like there, you guys. This is so pretty. And then I think I want to add like some of this. And yes, I'm using my finger to kind of blend. Use your tools, you guys. Use it however you choose. And I'm just going into certain pockets to really draw the orange and make it a little bit more cohesive everywhere. So I am going to grab my wider flat brush, the 10, and I'm going to do this because we're doing things. Hello, my beautiful people. I'm still live, but hi, I love you. Hold on one second. Let's do this. And then I'm going to take that paint, dip it in here, add a little bit more. And I'm going to tap as much of it off. I want it to be like a very light, because it's such a like saturated color. Like kind of how, yes, like this. Yes. Yes. That's what we're looking for. And it's just like little bits. So with that flat brush, like we did at the very beginning of this painting, we're just kind of creating a little bit more. Oh, life artist. That's why you're a life artist. Let me just tell you, this just added so much life to this piece that I literally could cry. And it's like I'm literally using the, I don't think there is either, right? I was thinking that, or the next time I'm going to play like frequencies to listen to, because I love anything that's going to be lowering our cortisol levels. Okay. We want to do that. So I'm using whatever is left on the brush to kind of create like just a little bit of a light wash on some of the areas to really draw in that orange. You guys, this is it. I cannot believe I made this with you guys. And then it was so collaborative. Life artist, you let me know. You want to go live, my love? You can come to a piece with me. That'd be so cool. I love this. I love the interactive ability of this. That's my child in the background. I got to go soon, but I think you guys, we're like, okay, hold on. Stop. It's like the Gen Z, you know, like all the Gen Z kids are like, I don't like, they like kind of like scream like, or whatever. So cute. But I'm doing one of those internally. It's like the internal thing. I am going to go in though with the thinner brush again, now that we still have just like 15 minutes left, and just kind of use, so for these branches to give it a little bit more life, just add a little touch of the orange, not too much. It's just like barely there, kind of like if you can see with like kind of the orangey here, kind of blended in. I kind of want to add that to the actual branches as well. So cool, right, you guys? I can't believe this. Terry, let me see those paint by numbers, girl. I want to see it immediately. Yes, this is all it needed, was a little bit of a brighter. And it's just like with the lightest touch, I'm just going in and almost like a highlight with the orange, just to kind of draw everything together too, in addition to those beautiful flowers. I mean, it's different, but it's similar enough to be cohesive with the whole piece. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't right now. Life artist really came through. All of you came through, PS. Like, wow. We did that. And yes, I said we, because even though I'm the executor, y'all have helped me with like the inspo behind this and just to kind of finesse it correctly. And see, like, that's the cool thing. It's like when you're open to feedback from people and your ego is not involved. Like, I've never been that type of artist. I love feedback, because to me, it's like, how can I improve myself? It's the same thing with like, you know, advice or anything like that. If people want to give you those type of things, it's coming from, especially if it's, you know, people you care about, you know, be open to listen to what they have to say, because sometimes that advice, it may not land in the moment that you want it to, but it definitely gives, you know, you an opportunity to reflect. And sometimes not everybody is out to get you or has the worst intentions. Because look at this, like, you can be fellow artists helping each other become better artists. And I'm here for that, those type of moments. So life artists, I really appreciate you, because you were on point with this one. And I am getting a little excited because I'm like wanting to add like just tiny little flecks of the orange too, for just a little something. But it is so awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who's here for your collaborative efforts, whether you chatted, whatever the case may be. Like, I just truly hope that this space continues to evolve as it's meant to, where we can all kind of just grow together, just kind of bring a little bit more lighthearted energy to the internet in this corner here. So I'm very excited about that. And I do feel that it's a good start so far. And again, for all of you who have a business, if you have a website, please send it to me. If you'd like to leave it under my posts or whatever, you have my permission to do so, please do. It's such an honor to like encounter all you people. Look at all this laughter in here. I hear you guys. Everyone can hear you. Oh, you guys, so beautiful. It's kind of emotional, like to do this on Mother's Day weekend and to complete it. Love. Because I really thought we were going to have to do this for a short, but it's just so pretty. And yes, I can get very carried away. I'm lost in the sauce right now, you guys. Quick. This is so amazing. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. And it's I think we're at a good spot right now. And I want to just take like, the last 10 minutes to just hang out with you guys. So I'm going to wrap this up. If I add anything else later, I'll show the final reveal. But this is our first, well, this is the second, but the first that we got to do together. You guys, I can't believe we just did this. I'm in shock right now. Sorry. I am like having a moment. I'm processing. Give me a second. I'm processing. Stop right now, everything. And I have to say, like, I understand why people love to do the like layered paints, because it really just does something really magnificent to a piece. It just gives it so much like texture, dimension, etc. My two favorite words, because I don't know any other words to describe all this crap. But let me not insult you. You're not crap. You're beautiful. Stop. All right, let's add a little bit more yellow to the eye. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost there. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, this ring? Listen, I will share that story once I add a little bit more color, and then I'm going to just take a break because we've been going at it for a little while. But I'm going to stop right here for now. If I need to add anything else, I will do that privately. But life artists, my love, while you're here, this is what happens when you listen to your friends on the internet who give you good advice on adding a little pop of orange, a little more contrast. It just brought the whole piece to life. Like, it's now can be a fair companion with this one. They're both unique and beautiful, but they're just like, I can't believe we did that together, you guys. Are you kidding me? And on time? Stop it. I can't wait for the next one. The green and the red is going to be so fire. So I'm going to move my girl off to the side for a second and let her dry and just, sit with my peoples for like the last 10 minutes. I am going to do a full short. I think I'm going to add a little bit more contrast in the center, like the eye just needs a little bit more pop, but I'm going to work on that separately. But I did want to take some time to, thank all of the tools again. So flat brush number 10, round brush number 3, filbert number 8, Artly liner number 1, and Artly flat number 2. You are all magnificent creatures of the divine, tools that have helped me execute this magnificent piece. Again, let me just show one more time. I'm so proud, you guys. Like, I feel like I have to do one of these. Whoop. So cool. Like, y'all saw me do it live. That's crazy. I've never done that before. So like, talk about healing your fears and inner child wound of being seen and being received. That was a big thing for me. Like, I was always afraid to put myself out there, especially when it came to my art, because I was like, I'm not good enough like these people. Like, I am terrible. I'm getting yelled at. I'm not holding the freaking brush right. But then it's like allowing that to just kind of not even cross your mind anymore, and just allowing yourself to just create and channel that divine energy is what it's about. And that's how you're able to push yourself to do things that you didn't expect to do. So thank you guys. And listen, like, I don't want you guys to be like, oh, it's so beautiful. But you think that like a 5-year-old did it. Although if a 5-year-old did that, I'd be like, damn. I'm not the best, but the point is to just do. And my art is it varies. I have very many different styles that I like to experiment with. And painting was a very big sore thing for me for many years. I didn't paint because I had this resentment towards the medium just because of the way that it was received in the past. So I was in college how many years ago? I graduated 2009 because I transferred schools and I lost credits, which is such garbaggio. Underpainting. Yes. Okay. So I underpaint with my makeup and it's seamless. Not you lose, but you use less product when you underpaint with your makeup and you have a more like blended, more flawless foundation base, etc. So let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, Freeze Frame, welcome. So I can kind of see Cicely Lover, I think I said hello. Melanie, of course. Rose, my beautiful mods, thank you. Life Artist, of course. Denise, I think, is in here as well. Hello. Hi, Denise. Hi, Christy. Oh my gosh, I know earlier Boston Brandy was here. Hey, listen, Denise, if you have a trash business, I know somebody needs garbaggio. Erin, Miss Erin, period. Yes, Miss Erin. Yeah, like seriously, like everybody needs their garbaggio taken care of. If anything, that is a genius business. Kind of like anything that has to do with making things for new moms and parents, anything that has to do with that, going into these professions, food even. Like I thought about it. I was like, maybe in my next life, not even, I'm going to do it this lifetime at some point, but there's a lot of really inspirational young people. Like after the pandemic, they took on sourdough as something that they were very interested in. Oh, my cat is up. Oh, is he going to make an appearance? I don't know, but let me move this water because, we don't want dearly beloved with the cat. Okay, we don't want that. Let me cover it because he'll think any water receptacle is for him to drink out of. But yeah, what was I saying? Hold on. I forgot. I lost my train of thought because I got distracted by the cat. Where was I? I forgot. Anyway, the point is just push yourself and do something that you like to do. And, yeah, trash is like one of those businesses where it's like everybody needs it. So if you stick to, the sourdough thing. So a lot of people started to sell all of their baked creations. And there right now is a need for more like homey, smaller businesses. Like people are more receptive to support smaller artists and people who do different types of crafts. It just, because of the AI push, it's kind of worked its way in an opposite direction where now people are craving more handmade things. So, in my last stream, I talked about having the M brain. Yes, the M brain is thriving right now. So if you have a business that you want to promote, because if like you have a Medi Spa, if you have a nail business, like there's just so much. I'm gonna say it away. If it's okay for me to say the stuff about the nail business, let me know. I'll plug it in real quick because, I'm happy to, and I'm gonna flaunt it. I'll paint with them. I'm just letting you know. But once I get the green light, I'll say it. But yeah, like we're craving authenticity. We're craving more human, flawed, less, perfection, less of the symmetry. I mean, or at least the Fibonacci symmetry, okay? The perfection that is the way God intended it. So if it's coming from a human, it's already in itself perfect, not because of its symmetrical composition, but it's more of like the person who curated that and was able to create something that in itself is a representation of their divine gifts, which is perfection. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay. So Miss 808 birthed entrepreneurial children. Okay. Because her daughter is making my nails. She does nails. She's making my little press-ons for my 40th. They are very mahjong things. And Miss Itaeway, if you have her links or anything, please put them in the chat. Like, I'm happy to share it. So her daughter is a nail artist, a nail tech, and she does incredible work. And I'm so happy to support her as well, so I can have like a cool set for my 40th that I can look at. So I don't know if I've shared that before, but I teach mahjong, like how to play Cantonese style mahjong, in my area, and it's the funnest thing. Like, it is so fun because mahjong is like a great game. Oh my god, it's 12:30, but still, I want to finish this mahjong story. So mahjong is amazing. So I've asked Miss 808's daughter to please make me a set, because my 40th birthday, I will be playing mahjong. And I want to pay homage to the Asian ancestors. Okay. The ancestors will be on my nails, on my life. They will be decorated. My cute little nails will be amazing. I wanted to do something like that because why not? Like, how fun. Like, I can look back at this set of nails and be like, that was my 40s. And I did something so fun. Because like my mother-in-law, she doesn't speak English and she speaks Cantonese. I don't know a lick of Cantonese. That's not true. I know at least how to count a little bit. So we're getting somewhere, but I know how to eat and I know how to play mahjong. So that's a good thing. And it's a great way to bond with her. And it's just been so fun to be the person to teach it, because like a lot of people are like, you're teaching it? I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know. Like, I know how to teach a little bit. Like, I'm pretty good at that. Yes. Oh my God. I can't wait to see. So like I sent some inspo pictures of like the mahjong tiles and like some nails that had it, just to kind of, and let her work. Cause I think that that's the one thing about when you're an artist, when you let an artist truly create for you from the heart and from the spirit, you get the best work. So instead of being too controlling about how someone's going to create, let them express themselves. And that's kind of what this whole experience, even here, like, the fact that I was able to make this with you guys and take your feedback is so cool. Like, I can't wait for the next one. And then, like I said in my last live too, I also make flower crowns. I like with like artificial flowers. Like, my whole thing is how to make something out of nothing and how to create something beautiful with the limited things that you have. Because so many of us like think, you need to have all of the paint colors, not knowing that you can mix colors and you can experiment that way. So I think that there is something to be said about having the ability to adapt and to make the best of what you have. Like, you don't have to have everything. I also make cakes. I make cookies. I used to do my own makeup to match my cakes and stuff. It's just been, let me see if I can find something and then I'll let you guys go, because I don't want to keep you all. I know, look at this. Wait, I love you. Let me see. I'll just see if I can find a picture. I have posted on my community post just like some of the cakes that I've done, but and also PS, like my logo and backdrop, I drew that. So that's how different my art styles are. So my Chimi Speaks little logo, the microphone, I drew it. The heart that I have at the banner at the top, I also drew that as well. So those are two. I mean, it's like, who is she? Then she does this. I mean, like, oh, we love a talented queen. If I do say so myself, I'm giving myself a little bit of credit. I don't do that often for the fear of people being like, oh, she thinks she's all that. Yeah. Well, take it up with God. Take it up with the Lord. Let me see if I can find something, and then I'll let you guys go. But oh my God, this look was really sick. Like, I loved this look. I hope it comes on camera. It's hard to see, but can you kind of see it? Yes, she used to take, I think, you know what? That haircut is everything. But it's like a skeletal, I don't know if it's kind of hard to pick up on the camera. Maybe like that. That's a makeup look. Then I was really big into, there was this artist that I loved. She's a half Mexican artist, and she would pay homage to her ancestry by creating looks like you know how they use like the skulls as a part of the culture. Um, and she would do that. And I was like, yo, that is beautiful. Like, what if I adapted it in my own way? And I did. And I was just like, okay, so like this is something that I could do in my own right. So to not copy her, because I wouldn't copy her looks, I would just take the inspiration. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take this look and add it to a cake and then like just elevate it a little bit because we all draw inspiration from one another. So let me see one more. Let me see. It's been so long. This was like 5 years ago when I was doing all of this stuff. And now I just bake for my daughter. And for her birthday and also for my birthday. I'm still deciding what to make. I know, look, I love chocolate. That's my favorite thing. So I'm definitely going to make a chocolate cake. I just don't know what kind yet. Hi, my love. I'm still live. I'm almost done, okay? Listen, I got to hurry up. One more. My baby is here. My sweet little baby ballerina who is going to be performing. I can't even wait. And we're actually performing together too, which is so awesome. So let's see. Oh, geez. Of course, when you're looking for something, it takes forever. But you know what? 5 minutes after or 6 minutes after the time is not as bad as what it was before last time. All right. It's like I'm doom scrolling on my own phone. How annoying. Maybe I'll post it on I don't like to post it. That's the thing. It's like, I don't like to post my picture like on like to use it as like my profile. Like I'm like, no, I want it to be my art, you know, and I don't even like to post myself online like that. But I will say though, so I'll share this one because this one has a nice story to it. So this, can you see that kind of? Oh, let me cover that. Okay, I made that crown and I did that look. It's hard for me to get it to not be so bright. Can I do that? Oh, not that. Oh, not that. Can we see a little bit better? Okay, that's a little bit better. So I would make these things and do my makeup. And during this time, that was the beginning of my spiritual awakening. So the eyes were getting tired because I was. And I was in such a, like, so humbled by the universe, by God, that I was exhausted. But you know what I learned is to channel my pain into art and channel that pain into power. And power for me is through the ability to express myself with arts, you know, different types of art, you know, and that's been my saving grace in all of this. So that's why I truly tell people, like, please find what makes you happy. Release whatever it is that you have inside that might be triggering to you, that may have held you back in any way, that heartbreak, that disappointment, that betrayal. Channel it into something beautiful. That's called alchemy. Alchemize the energy, because the energy never, like, you can't create it or destroy it, right? So you might as well recreate it into something beautiful, so that way it can just be released from your system and you can move on with your life and heal that aspect of yourself. And you can look at that wound and be like, I remember that. It got no power over me no more. And that's the beauty about it. So yeah, with that said, everyone, oh, the ring. Yes, the ring. So this is my dad's ring. It is very near and dear to me. My dad had passed when I was younger. I have mentioned it a couple of times on the streams, but I feel like he is also like my guardian on this realm. And it's something that I just, you know, I wear it. I feel like just, you know, between my wedding band and my father together, it's like I got the two men that were very important to me and that are important to me in my energy in my realm, protecting what I'm here to do. So it just is a very special thing. So yeah, it is his. It has his initials on it. So it's very special. And after, especially after that spiritual awakening and going through that process, I felt more drawn to connect to something deeper than just the surface. I didn't want to drown my depression or anger, anxiety by harming myself. Like, it just made me reflect on what I needed to change about myself to come out stronger. So that's the thing though. For like every time I go through something difficult, I just come back better. So if you're coming for me, I just highly suggest you know that I'm just only going to be better. So thanks. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but this is just, I love being able to have that ability. And I didn't realize that I've been doing a version of alchemy my whole life. And I want to inspire that in others, because it's truly, you can look back at your work and be like, I remember exactly where I was. Like, this piece is so special to me now, even more because I've made it with all of you. So thank you for taking your Saturday on this beautiful Mother's Day weekend to spend it with me. I am so eternally grateful to all of you for being here, for your suggestions, for the chat, for everything that you all are participating in. Please continue, if you're an entrepreneur, to continue to pursue your passions. Don't allow yourself to be capped at don't limit yourself, because this one, that one, the third, Juan Pablo and Maria, my two favorite people, are all up in your grill. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever makes you feel happy. It's never too late to start something. Just go for it and just let it rock. Take the ride. It's worth it. So with that said, I wish you all such a beautiful Mother's Day weekend. To all who celebrate, to all of the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. You are loved. You are cherished. You are divine. And you are the reason why, thank God, most of us are here. Okay. We got to get credit for that. These stretch marks did not happen out of nowhere. Okay. We delivered part of humanity. So with that said, to my beautiful mods, thank you. I appreciate you so much. To everyone who participated today, thank you. Life artists, the orange was all you, my friend. Thank you very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend. So much love to all of you. Thank you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.